What up, people? You are listening to the Atlanta Podcast with your host, Christian,
Justin,
and Myron.
And we are talking about stuff going on in Atlanta. We are recording on Tuesday. Wait a minute. What's today's date?
I always forget. It's the 22nd.
Kids, man. The 22nd in the beer basement. And we have a huge episode for you today. We are honored to introduce to you our guest, businessman, nonprofit executive, engineer, speaker, deacon, father, native Atlantan, City of Atlanta council member, and candidate for mayor of Atlanta, Andre Dickens, ladies and gentlemen.
he's here.
Thank you for making the mistake of being on this little podcast, sir. We appreciate it.
Hey, one thing you can say about me is I'm brave.
Yeah. Awesome.
Came to a stranger's basement tonight.
Right. Actually,
he came with backup because when Javita Moore was over here, she stayed outside until a friend came first.
Yeah. She saw the house and she was like, you know what? Let me wait on a friend.
She got the car running. So, no, y'all just go ahead.
oh man.
He already dialed 911. She's like, just in case.
Well, I went to your neighbor's house first. We went to the wrong
Wait a
house.
minute, which one?
The one to your left. And they were like,
they're
yeah. She was like,
The other ones aren't?
she was like, I said, we're here for the podcast. And she was like, next door. I was like, okay.
Awesome. We're about to have a very important conversation, so we're going to skip our Guess the Race segment. We don't want anything from this podcast to be unfairly used against you and your mayoral race.
There you go.
Mayoral. So before we get into it, we need to make sure we're properly hydrated.
This is a fact.
So, Myron, what we got on tap?
Right quick, what we got on tap tonight is a stout from, of course, the homies Pontoon Brewing. They're up in Roswell. Mm-hmm. It's called Stout of Mine. A Stout of Mine. It has a little otter and whatnot. But anyway,
They got a thing about otters.
They do. But it's a barrel-aged stout in Jameson barrels for 18 months with coconut, graham cracker, cinnamon, vanilla, and caramel. Caramel or caramel? Who says? You say caramel?
Caramel.
Caramel.
Okay, caramel.
I'm just going to go with what everybody said.
If you say caramel, I think you're trying too hard.
Caramel.
Caramel?
I think if you read it written, like in a recipe, it might be caramel. But if if you're just saying off the cuff,
How
caramel.
many A's is in caramel?
Seriously?
Wait a minute. What?
6.
No way.
All right.
But this is for us. If you want to indulge, you are
The bottle
definitely
will be right there for you.
If it's good. We haven't had it yet.
Pontoon always makes good stuff, man.
Shout out to Pontoon.
Shout out.
Those are the homies.
Yeah.
I had my kickoff at a brewery.
Yeah.
So
A man after our own heart?
I will take some.
Monday night, right?
Yeah, Monday night.
Yeah. Shout out to Monday night.
Those
Yeah.
homies too.
Yeah.
So cheers, fellas.
We had our Christmas party there.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink, clink. Ooh.
Clink, clink, clink.
Of course, on these nice toasters. with our
Oh, that's
faces.
good.
Oh, that's super good.
That's crazy.
See, I'm not a big Jameson fan, like straight, but the flavor that you got from the barrels in this works well with the cinnamon.
Yeah, I
It's
can
really
taste
good.
everything you mentioned.
That's
The
like a
caramel,
cookie.
the cinnamon,
The graham cracker,
Yeah.
right? Almost like a little s'mores pie or
it's a
something
little
like that.
s'moresy.
Shout out to the otters.
All right. Now, let's get into it.
Oh, snap.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
What we like to do first is we like to talk origin story.
Okay.
Because we have listeners that are in tune, know what's going on in politics and everything like that. And we have some that have no fucking idea. So please, who is Andre Dickens?
Well, that's a complicated answer, but I'm going to give it to you.
We got time.
go.
We got time. We're
All
a
right.
podcast.
It's a two-part
It's
series.
literally all we have.
Two-part series. Three.
It's basically The Wire.
Oh,
You're the greatest story ever told.
The greatest story ever told.
Who are you though?
Barksdale. You gotta be Barksdale. There's only one correct answer.
Answer this one correctly, because that's
That's
it's about drug dealing, right?
It's about so much more. Okay, the drug dealing is a metaphor for how hard it is in America.
Yeah,
See the
man.
drugs.
As much as I want to be Avon Barksdale, that might not be good for what I'm
Don't say
trying
that.
to.
Not our president.
Yeah. Or Marlo, who everybody hates. You know,
Everybody hated, but he was the best.
Yeah, Marlo came out of nowhere as a character that got developed right in front of us. Like, yo, the new school coming.
He took no L's.
He took no L's. The new school here. But no, so I'm Andre Dickens, born and raised here in Southwest Atlanta, Adamsville, Flatlands. Yeah, I'm from the SWATs. Yeah, man, I grew up in a neighborhood of 30 boys. Like, literally, my neighborhood had like 6 or 7 girls and 30 boys. I don't know how that worked out.
Wow.
But we played every sport every day and night in the streets. You know, from basketball, football, baseball, wrestling. You know, working class family. My mom was a union worker for Southern Bell, the phone company now. You know, it's AT&T or whatever.
Wow.
That's
Yeah. Southern Bell, then Bell South, then AT&T. You know,
Maybe a Southern Belle T-shirt.
yeah. I need to get a Southern Bell T-shirt right now.
Oh, you know what? Atlanta meme probably already.
They already got it.
something
They
like that.
already got it. They're working
That
on
was
it right
back
now.
when we had phone books.
Yeah.
Phone books.
Bro, remember the phone book would come?
And you would
A couple of them. You got the
Yeah.
yellow pages, the white pages.
Right. You forget your friend's number, you go look it up. The big old white pages. Like, what's their mama name?
And it would be 6 of the same name, and you'd be like,
Like, which Jones is it?
Which Jones is it? That's right. So, man, I grew up, and then I went to Atlanta Public Schools, Miles Elementary, then Southwest Middle School, then Mays High School.
Oh, the powder
Benjamin
blue.
Mays. That's right. The powder blue and the gold.
Okay.
That's right. And so, you know, made my way through Mays High School, the Academy of Math and Science, and then I became the first person in my family to go to college when I
Nice.
went to Georgia Tech.
that's what's up.
I literally had an opportunity based on just, I didn't know where Georgia Tech was 18 months before I got to Georgia Tech. I didn't know where it was in the state of Georgia.
Wow.
Because nobody in my family had been to college. I didn't know where it existed. It could have been in Athens. It could have been in Macon.
Thank God it wasn't.
No, thank God it wasn't. But because of a quiz bowl, if you guys know, when you compete schools to schools,
Yes, sir.
where there's 4 people punching a buzzer saying, I know the answer to that geometry problem, I was the 5th. I was the alternate for the Mays High team in the 11th grade, which meant that if somebody got sick or whatever, I could answer. I didn't have to answer a single question. We went through the whole quiz bowl, came in like 2nd or 3rd, but the finals or the semifinals was at Georgia Tech. So we had to go there. And I was like, wow, this
It's
and that.
right here.
It's right here. I heard of the varsity, you know. Well, so I ended up, you know, I didn't do much, but the guy, the black recruiter at Tech was at the quiz bowl looking for talent. And he was like, all of you guys are great. All y'all can come to this summer program called MITE, Minorities Interested in Engineering. And I was like, okay, so a 7-day program. You come for free. You spend the night every night. You take engineering classes. You have fun. You play spades, shoot basketball. Like, hey, let's go. Did that in the summer. Did a phenomenal job during that program, being away from home for the first time. It was just up the street, but away from home. Yeah. And then the dude on the last day was like, you're coming to Tech. Here's your application. Your PSATs or SATs and your grades are good enough to come here. Fill out this application when you get home and then give it back. I was like, I'm sitting out here waiting on my mama to show up. I'm going to fill this out right now.
Oh, that's
I filled it out by hand. I know your millennial audience is like, who wrote their college application? I did. I didn't type it. We wrote it on the form. It was a four-page, you know, a fold out. You know, so the front page is your who you are. The other page is what your interests are, and the back page was literally your, you know, write an essay.
What did
about
it say?
yourself.
I'm black and qualified.
You drew a fist on it. I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all.
Yeah, something like that. Wrote my thing to do, was like, good enough. Like a month and a half later, sent a letter to my house, said, you're coming to Georgia Tech. I didn't apply to any other college.
Dang.
I had never done anything. It was serendipitous that I was going to go to Georgia Tech. Went there, SGA, Black Student Union president, NSB. You know, I was, you know, president of my fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi. Everything just worked out for me. So that's how I overcame being, someone who had never studied with anybody other than black people before, had never been in any classes with anybody other than black people before. You show up at Georgia Tech, and it's very few, right? So you're in class trying to raise your hand, thinking like, how these 200 people gonna feel about me saying y'all and what's up? Where y'all going on Saturday? I remember I used to say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They was like Saturday.
There's
no Saturday. Saturday. Oh dang, I sound different. Let me assess myself all the time, and I did that for a while, and I stopped. I said, man, be yourself. That's how you're gonna get these grades. That's how you're gonna get where you're going in life. Left there, graduated, did engineering, started my own business, did all this stuff, neighborhood president, neighborhood MPU leader, blah, 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 all these things, raising a family, and ran for office in 2013, won against an incumbent that had been in office for 12 years. He had been there for 12 years.
Too long.
Too long, right.
Yeah. And,
out of here.
and we beat him because he was, had some challenges, unethical, and then I went on and now I'm a city council member for 8 years. I'm a dad of a 16-year-old daughter, and all the things that you just said, from owning a business to being a nonprofit leader, nonprofit executive, a technology leader. So I'm somebody. All that in a nutshell is somebody who loves the people of Atlanta and believes in us without fail. I had never left the city, and I said at 16, I want to be mayor of the best city in the world, which is Atlanta. Absolutely. This is not a story for your, just because I'm making it up. No, this is literally what I believed at 16. Had never been anywhere. Saw Miami Vice. I said, that's cool, but y'all ain't got nothing on, Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I saw Hill Street Blues in New York, and I was like, hey, y'all pretty cool. These are some cool shows, but that looks like that ain't cool like Atlanta. That looks like snow and gang violence. LA, y'all cool, y'all got y'all thing going on, but ain't nothing like, Benjamin Mays High School, or, the Underground where we go hang out at, or, the Braves and Dominique Wilkins and Deion Sanders eventually came along. So who I am is really a son of the city of Atlanta.
Awesome.
Nice.
Oh,
so you and Killer Mike have a lot in common.
Right. Sure enough. He's from Adamsville.
Right. He says the same thing. He's a huge advocate for the city.
Mm-hmm.
Which is perfect, because over the years, especially over the last, I would say, 10 or so years, but obviously more, so much culture has been basically stolen and used out of Atlanta. Right. There you go. Extracted. That's a PC term.
Yeah.
Cultural resource.
Yeah.
Right. And it's about time that we get our due, as in the city.
Mm-hmm.
We have our stamp on the map as far as everybody knows Hartsfield. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's really it. That and Peaches.
Yeah.
Peaches. Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to hear.
To
hear.
Now, you've met Maynard Jackson before, right?
As a kid, shaking a hand of a mayor. That was it. Not as a, he passed away before I became, anybody as an adult. But I met him. I shook his hand at the grocery store.
Oh, wow.
What store was it?
I can't remember what store.
That's what I
Remember A&P?
And they had A&P and Food Lion and all that. Food Lion and Food Giant. But I remember my mom basically being like, come on over here. Come on. You got to go over here. Shake his hand. We were like several hours early.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm asking for a job.
Meet him. And I'm like, okay.
I'm 6.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right. And he had that baritone voice, and he's this big guy that's always on TV every night. And I just remember looking at him like he was everything. I mean, I wish I could present Mayoral as he does. I mean, the dude is size, his voice, but I have captured something from him that he always says, I'm Maynard Jackson. What's your name? That's how he would say it. He would say that at grocery stores. He'd say that at everything. Hi, I'm Maynard Jackson, and what's your name? You automatically just be like, I'm
feeling good.
You want to smile or me? Susie. No.
Flattered. Little old me?
You got to think about
You forgot your name.
I don't know.
I'm Batman.
You asked me that earlier. I was like, I'm Christian. That's just...
Yeah, that's what I asked you guys. And I got that from him because it is impactful. He's going to tell you who he is, and most of the time everybody already already knew. But he's going to say, and what's your name? And that's so endearing. And that's part of our culture, as you just mentioned, Myron. Our culture is to be able to see the individual and to be able to express to the individual that we care about you, we see you, and sometimes in few words and sometimes in a whole lot of words, like, you might hear it in a song, or you see Andre 3000 saying the South got something to say. Oh, yeah. That's I see. I want to be seen. You see me, I want to be seen. That's us. That's Southern. That's Atlanta.
Absolutely. So, what got you? Oh, go ahead. Do you have?
I was gonna say something real quick. Back to college. You said you were Kappa. When was the last time you twirled your cane?
Oh
That's
man,
a good question. That's a good question.
Fantastic question.
I know y'all got a lot of pride with that.
Yeah, man. I got a cane still at my house.
You still got it.
I still got it.
Okay.
He breaks it. He's like, click. He's like,
Yeah. It's like it's in pristine. When you're in college, it gets all it gets all messed up because you're taking it everywhere. It's getting torn. My cane is almost pristine because I'll twirl it like in a house.
Now.
It's a show cane. My daughter will be holding it, twirling. Back when you're in college, like, hey girl, put that down.
Right.
You can't touch my cane. You haven't pledged the fraternity.
You looked out the window. Somebody might have seen.
Yeah, somebody might have seen.
People at the grocery store.
Hey, what is that? You touch my cane? You can't do that.
He got red on.
Yeah. Now my mama or anybody at my house, move that out the way. They just touching it, and I don't even feel it. I'm like, yeah, put that over there. Put that out the way.
Stop wearing it.
Yeah. It's all crazy, but nah, man. I twirl it from time to time. I'll do a right hand, left hand little move, and
Sure,
then
you still got it.
Yeah, just sure I still got it. Every now and then.
Got you.
So, what was the reason you got into politics?
Yeah,
because you're successful outside of it. Why would you want to go into this like man, dog, dog?
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, I think that. And this is a personal thing, and I don't put this off on everybody, but I'm gonna say it.
Okay,
Here we go.
I believe that everybody at some point in time gotta put their name on a ballot.
Oh,
word.
I believe that. I believe at some point, whether that's class president at your middle school, your high school, or college, whether that is neighborhood leader, neighborhood president, whether that's your organization at your job, whether that's whatever, you gotta have your chance to stand in front of people and ask for permission to lead them.
Everybody.
I believe everybody should.
Neighborhood drug dealer. Hey, y'all.
They are business owners.
They have employees.
They give incredible TED Talks.
They got a payroll. They give incredible.
Inspirational.
The TED Talk. I will break your legs if you mess with my money.
Right.
That's the
It's
talk.
a metaphor. It's a metaphor.
Right.
Not the drugs. The drugs is a metaphor for the struggle and injustice.
Oh, now are you talking about TED Talk podcast? Are you talking about poetry slam?
Aren't they one and the same at some point? Venn diagram.
All right. You don't know where they are. Yeah.
But you're saying everybody.
I believe that, man. Something about asking for permission to lead is important.
Everybody ain't leaders, though. You sure about that?
You can lose an election, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah. You guys are offering up. I mean, I'm saying offer yourself up to be in position to hear people of your peer group define what leadership looks like, define what the conditions of the day are, what the ground rules are, how we want to be led, what our challenges are, and then you offer up your solutions in the front versus in the peanut gallery, versus in the back. Now, I'm in the peanut gallery in lots of places, but right now, I'm also at the forefront of the best city in the world, right? So I have put myself up for analysis, for criticism, for scrutiny, for all kinds of things, all because I said I want to hear you so well and create a shared vision and to be able to adopt the city that you want to have, and I will lead you there. That is a commitment. That is a commitment like a child that you've birthed. That is a commitment like a spouse that you've married. That is a commitment like a business that you've put a loan application in for. It is saying, I am committed to the point that you tell me and then I go do on your behalf. And when I don't do, you call me. When I do well, you call me. That will change your viewpoint on community. And so that's how I see it.
So at the very least, perspective changes, and at the best, you might rise to the occasion.
Yes, at the best, you will rise to the occasion. Even if you are 80% there, the process will get you further there. Right now, the thought is, I took some crazy pictures on my Instagram 3 years ago back at Freaknik, or back in people gonna talk crazy about me. I can't run for politics.
That's a lot. That's a lot. We can do that off the air.
Right,
talk about that.
I can cut that.
Right.
He said born and raised or something somewhere.
Yeah, he been there.
Because so much of politics has been presented to us in the negative. Like, oh man, what am I? People tell me, hey man, make sure you ain't got no skeletons in your closet. Make sure your nose clean. Make sure this and all that. People don't automatically first start with, tell me what you believe. Tell me what you're thinking. Where are we going? How you gonna help me get there? They automatically start with, oh man, I ain't about to run for office. I'm gonna let y'all run for office because I used to do this in the past and stuff like that, and that holds you back from having that. We want people that have taken experiences. I mean, I ain't necessarily talking about, illegal stuff, but I mean, you go out there and live your life. And so what? Your college was filled with college stuff. Now run for office. Go out there and lead. I mean, we have had presidents that have admitted to certain things. And as long as they didn't do anything unethical or illegal, it is opportunity to look at this.
I'm glad you said that, because there's two sides to that. I do agree with you, because you're put in a position you're forced to potentially answer a question or solve a problem. Mm-hmm. So, if you've never really thought about it or been pressured to think about something, inspiration might come up. Necessity is the mother of invention. So if you are forced to, be the potential mayor of the city, what are you going to do about this, that, and the other? Mm-hmm. On the flip side of that, you do get people to where they run and they end up winning, and they shouldn't have, i.e., like Trump.
Right. Right.
I think he was surprised that he was like, "What? Oh, wait a minute, what?"
Yeah.
We going where?
Right.
He said, "Oh, stop word. Oh, well, yeah, over there." All right.
So you are right. You are absolutely right. And the danger in everybody running is sometimes a bad candidate can win, a fool can win, a person that can coin a phrase, a snake oil salesman, a person that is slick and or financially more, got more money, can just flood the airways with their messaging, and the little guy can't say, hey, but this is that. So you do run that.
Anybody in particular? Right? I mean, no. Okay, I'm just checking.
Yeah,
I'm with anything like imp or something like that. Right?
We shall see.
Oh no.
But I trust the electorate.
You trust people?
Yeah.
I hope he does.
I've been people a long time.
I don't know. We all been people, but we all
you trust
seen
to come
people.
down here in this basement.
Yeah.
You trust the person.
Yeah.
Right. I did come down to a basement I have never, ever been before.
Yeah.
He called off the folks outside. I saw his car. They're not going to read my house.
Well,
but no, man, I think that, I decided to run because now is the time that we need the type of leadership that I'll bring, which is one that's inclusive, somebody that builds a big tent. I have opportunities for everybody. I believe that this city thrives when everyone has a fair shot and a fair opportunity at all of the progress that's going on. I mean, I'm going to make sure that our South Side, our Southwest, Southeast, all these folks get what they deserve, which is the quality of life, new development without displacement, and then people are going to be able to get these great jobs and careers. I'm not going to stop until we see the Atlanta that we dream of. The Atlanta, and this is why I run, because all those experiences that you mentioned, all those things that you're talking about, I have a full set of experiences that have prepared me for this moment. This is a moment where Atlanta is at a place of we could fall off and lose the culture of Atlanta, or we can embrace it and utilize it as a strength, as a core strength, something that's phenomenal, that then attracts more people, attracts more opportunities, and strengthens the people that have it already in their bones, people that are diehard Atlantans. And so I feel like without this visionary leadership that has been committed to overcoming challenges and helping others overcome challenges, like all the programs I've started that train people, help people get great jobs, I don't know where we'd be if we only focus on the rich, or if we only focus on things that don't benefit the plurality of Atlanta. And that's why I'm running, and that's why I've done everything I can to get to this point.
So if you were to win, what would you say is your core pillars of your campaign? Just the top 3 things you want to tackle.
Yeah, so I'm all about, equity, so opportunities for everyone to thrive. So that's economic development and balanced growth in that economic. So we're going to grow the city, but we're going to grow it in a balanced way, meaning everybody is going to have a seat at the table. So inclusivity and balanced growth in that. I'm also going to make sure that we have housing affordability. Ooh. Right now, the rent is too high, the mortgages are going up. The cost of living is going up too high.
Out.
People getting kicked out, evictions.
I'm in Clayton County right now.
Yeah, you're in Clayton County.
I was on a boulevard, and then we got bought out by some guys out in California. They don't even live in Atlanta.
Right.
They don't even live here.
Right.
Like, we was Atlanta.
Yeah.
So we got priced out. Now the house is selling for $1.1 million.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that was that was our hangout spot, the house on Boulevard.
Those were the days. Those were the
days.
$1 million crib.
It's $1 million crib.
Man.
It was like a multi-unit, but you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
He lived there before. I was there. Like
right next to
it used to be a church.
No, the other side.
Yeah, they knocked the church down. And built the house there.
And that one was $2 million.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And every time they would knock a house down on the block, our rent would go up. We was just like, "What's going on? I don't know if I can afford more of these houses."
When are you describing like between Edgewood and Auburn on Boulevard?
It's
Rankin.
Oh, okay, up on the other side. Yeah,
right there,
yeah, where the Sitco is. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
right up there.
Yeah, city lights and everything is across the street.
Yep.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about.
Now.
Oh,
what you were
he was asking me, and then
let him finish.
You're right. My bad.
Yeah. You got
no.
Give
that man a shot.
Yeah.
Your pockets were hurting. You're like, oh man.
Hey, and
to my soul.
Yeah. Housing affordability, transportation. We got to make sure we grow MARTA, expand all this public transportation and our road infrastructure. And then last but not least, we can't have a prosperous Atlanta and an equitable Atlanta until we have a safe Atlanta. Right now, this crime is out of control. I want to make sure that this is just a crime spike and not the new normal. We cannot exist with this level of random acts of violence. And certain sides of the city are feeling it worse than others, but it's everywhere. It's throughout the metro, DeKalb County, Cobb County, even people are having shootouts between Alpharetta and Roswell on 400. It ain't just it ain't just Atlanta. It's all over the place. But when the news reports that they say Atlanta area shooting or Metro Atlanta shooting, all you see is Atlanta. So you just they don't say Douglasville shootout.
We usually do a guess the race, and then as Christian was researching it was just kind of depressing, and it was just Atlantans killing Atlantans. So we were like, let's just kind of skip it today.
Yeah.
Like, what can we do to decrease the crime? I know you did. Was it Citizens Review Board? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like a big program with that. Can you explain that? What was going on with the legislation that you had put forward?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. So Citizens Review Board came about after the unfortunate killing of Katherine Johnston back in about 20 years ago. It was the no-knock days, what they call those DC-6 laws, those laws where the police could dress in plain clothes, bust in your house, no knock, and because they were trying to seize drugs. Well, an informant told the police that house is where the drugs are, and the police at that time said, "Okay, you're right. Yeah, that's where the drugs are. Don't send me to jail. Go there." And then they went into this house And this older lady living in the Bluff, Vine City, they jumped into her house, front door, back door, and she packs a pistol.
Absolutely.
Right? Second Amendment. Two plainclothes people coming through the front door and some people coming through the back door. She starts popping off, as she should in her own right.
Home invasion.
That's a home invasion. And they were cops, and they they killed her. And then some cops realized, oh my God, our informant gave us the wrong information. So then they got stupid and planted drugs on her.
Oh, damn!
And some other cops, did own up to telling that their colleagues did the wrong thing, and those cops got in trouble. And then we formed this thing called the Citizens Review Board. Now, this is long before I was on city council. And so the Citizens Review Board is now citizens have the right to say that an officer has used excessive use of force on me. He cursed me out. He or she cursed me out. They pushed me down. They did these things that was excessive. You can file a complaint. And this was before body cameras was around. Right. Now you got body cameras to corroborate the story of either the officer or the person. So right now, if a cop comes in here and does something crazy to us, we can all file a complaint with the Citizen Review Board. So what I did to add to that was the Review Board is filled with business leaders and a few civic organizations, people like the Gate City Bar Association, which is a black bar association, and some other business leaders, but they're all like 40-somethings. So I added 2 young people on it. I said there's a requirement that on this board you have to have somebody between 18 and 30, 2 people between 18 and 30. So They're selected by youth organizations that are, whether that's Urban League Young Professionals or something like that, because young people are out in the streets a lot more than older people, and so they have an interaction with police. They have a lot more interactions. A lot more interactions. You be on Edgewood or you're on, in or East Atlanta. Yeah. Right. Or Buckhead, and you're like, hey, this is what happened to me, and so they need to be able to voice their concerns, especially. So I did that coming off of George Floyd and Rayshard Brooks and Ahmaud Arbery and countless others, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. So we put that in place. But that's I want to make sure that we support our officers while holding them accountable. The Citizen Review Board part is the holding them accountable part. But the supporting our officers, we gave them the biggest raise ever in 2019, biggest raise that they've ever had, numerically and percentage-wise. And we need to add more officers and support them. We also need to make sure they improve their training. Their training needs to be how to de-escalate problems. Once you have a person's wallet, you have their ID, you have their tag number, you have all this stuff, you will find them in 24 hours. You don't have to wrestle too far. If you're wrestling with them and they're acting up and they're drunk or they're whatever, you got their car keys, you got their car. There's really no reason to reach for your weapon. You just be like, all right, I'm going to try to get you in custody. But versus us getting into a fight or a shootout, I got all your information. With all the cameras, with all the information, we're going to find you how to de-escalate situations. Hey, man, we're going to deal with this right now. We're not going to turn
That's a very good point. Just like they did at the Capitol.
Right. Yeah.
They're like, we'll get you later.
Yeah,
go ahead and act up. We'll get you later.
Have fun.
So more and more training on how to be and in community policing, incentivizing officers to live in the city so they know their city, so they feel comfortable in the communities that they serve and the beats.
So how do you feel about potentially changing the roles of the police department as a whole? So I mean by that is changing what they do, how they do it. As far as, for example, if it's somebody that's they get a call with someone clearly having a mental health episode.
Yes,
the police should not be called in that situation.
I agree.
So how do you feel? How do you think? Yeah. Do you have a plan for that, and how do you think that will be received?
Tell them stop.
No, I mean, I'm glad you said that because that is a core principle that I'm dealing with. What is how to respond to non-emergencies. So right now we've trained this person $100,000 worth of training, 26 weeks. They have on weapons that can, control a situation. They got a car that's $120,000.
They're ready for some action.
They are prepared to deal with murderers, rapists, aggravated assaults, burglars. They're prepared to deal with things that are very bad in society. To have that person dealing with a person that is not wanting to move out in front of a Dunkin' Donuts, not wanting to move their, all their life belongings. They're a person experiencing homelessness. They have all their clothes, they have their bag, they got all their belongings, and they just don't want to leave out in front of this restaurant. And people are saying, get them out of here. Why would we send this $100,000 trained person that's ready to deal with something that could be bad happening? He or she has got to deal 45 minutes to an hour trying to remove this person, and they don't even know where they're going to send them when they remove them, because this person is going to go to they're going to move from the Dunkin' Donuts to the Starbucks, and then they're going to move from the Starbucks to whatever, but we really need special. Yeah, we need a specialist. We need someone that is basically trained in mental health and homelessness outreach and domestic scenarios, public drunkenness, how to just be like, look, man, this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep you right here. You're going to chill out, and then we're going to get you where you need to go. Whatever that is, that is called non-emergency response. And I'll tell you a good model for that is that on MARTA. I don't know if you guys have ridden MARTA in a while.
A lot.
Yes.
Okay, good. So on MARTA.
To the airport.
Yeah. Most people ride to the airport. Yeah. Or to the game. So MARTA police they have a companion that is called a specialist. That person is not, sworn military. They can't arrest you and take you to a police station and file a police report. But you loud kids that's on the back of this train, y'all got to calm down, because y'all are doing the most. That person got a walkie-talkie, they got a baton, and they also are trained in hand-to-hand combat. So if it does get rowdy, they know how to
hands on you.
Yeah. Really get them hands off of them, and deflect a few, maybe,
and then call for backup.
So that means that guy that's experiencing homelessness that just keeps sitting on this seat in this train, riding up to Doraville, back down to the airport, up to Doraville, back to the airport all day. That person needs to, we need to send you to the homeless shelter. We need to take care of you in a different way, because you can't sit right here all day riding the train. You that is just camping out in the station, deal with that. So MARTA has a specialist. That person makes about $40,000 a year. That person is ready, if it gets rowdy about it, they call and say, hey, I need you to help me out, police officer. And the officer comes down the train tracks or down whatever and says, I got the situation under control. Whereas most of the time, it's loud kids, somebody having mental breakdown, somebody lost. That's the other thing. Hey, what station should I be at? I lost my keys, I lost my phone, I lost my...
Man, every cop should have one of these. It's like a sidekick.
It's a sidekick.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's a sidekick.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's more eyes and ears, and they're wearing blue. They got boots on. They got so they just are authority. And so what if we had that around the streets of Atlanta?
That'd be dope.
These are people that basically you can go to. You and I can go to them, because we're not bad guys. We can go to them and be like, hey man, where's the nearest?
You don't lie yourself with Justin.
Don't lie.
I've had a couple public drunkenness where I needed somebody to sit me down and just be like, stay right here.
Christian and Myron and I can go to them and say, hey, where's where's the nearest ATM? And then we can say, look out for Justin.
There you go. Watch him a little bit.
He needed a sidekick at DragonCon a couple years ago.
Anyway, we won't get into it. But speaking of homelessness, what is your do you have a plan for the homelessness issue in the city?
Yeah. I think I do. And this is, a transparent moment where, homelessness is, it is a ongoing issue.
Yeah.
Right now,
worldwide,
someone can be experiencing homelessness in 5 minutes based on get up out of my house.
I was homeless when them Asian dudes bought my house. I was a spirit every 5 minutes. Getting his house bought.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I hope this is not the case, but you can see the scenario. Right now, you have been, you're late on a payment. You sleep in somebody's extra bedroom or the whole house or whatever. You've been late on the payment a month, late on payment for 2 months. Or you and this person got into a bad argument or disagreement. you can become homelessness in an instant.
Yeah.
You can become homeless in an instant. It is not something that someone can say, I got the ultimate solution. Well, the
homeless plan.
I got, I have a plan. I have some suggestions. I have some ideas. Seattle ain't figured it out. LA, hasn't figured it out. Everywhere you go, wherever the rent is going up, more and more people are experiencing homelessness. Mm-hmm. Wherever you have opportunities that people are coming to, I'll tell you this example. One day, so I do the homeless count every year, which is in January. We do it to count up people, and we send out hundreds of people, and we go out and we count people that are experiencing homelessness. We count who's in the shelter, and we go under bridges and encampments where we know people are. We go out there and we got paperwork like, all right, hey, what's your name? Who you are? Okay, cool. You're a veteran. You're this, you're that, or how old are you? Da, da, da. We give them like food coupons so that they participate. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, the people that I'm seeing, about 50% of them had been in Atlanta like less than a year, and they had came from other cities.
Wow.
I remember running into one set of individuals. It was two young men, about 19, 20 years old, under the bridge near Nelson Street Bridge near Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We got the flashlight with the police, and they, come on down. They got on like windbreakers. This is like 38 degrees outside.
Dang.
They were a same-sex couple, and they lived in Chattanooga. And their parents, they went from one, the parents found out, this household parents found out they were in love with each other, kicked them out. They went to this parents' household. Eventually, they kicked them out. These dudes are like, Atlanta loves us. Let's go down to Atlanta. They got jobs. They got stuff. They had like,
they got rent
this
too.
This is the Atlanta got rent. And this is a story that you find out after you're sitting there talking to these guys in the car because they're chitter-chattering. Their teeth are just chattering. They're cold. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we came here because Atlanta is everything. Atlanta, everybody, this is where you can get a Tyler Perry. This is where you can be a waiter, a waitress. We thought we could have got by. We could have We came down here with $120. That lasted them 2 days.
Yeah.
They were here for 2 or 3 days, and they were homeless. So we were like, let's talk this through. And we got to the Human Rights Coalition, and we talked to the people in Chattanooga that were LGBTQ and human rights folks, and we was like, you got to talk to these parents. We got to talk to these parents. Atlanta does not need to adopt any new challenges. As much as we would love these people and love on them and see where we can go, we already just counted 3,000 homeless tonight. Wow. Why add 2 more? Right. This is, hey, if we have to, we will. But can we talk to your parents? Can we talk to your faith community? Can we talk to the allies up there? Can we send this back to Chattanooga where all of your infrastructure, all of your home, all of your possibilities actually reside? And here it's a distant help opportunity that I will be giving you. Mm-hmm. Drove them back up there with a whole lot of love and care after the whole hotel night stay. And, they're good. Yeah. Now, every story doesn't end like that, right? But this is me. This was a council member on that trip. Now, everybody else ain't going to, everybody else is checking off boxes and saying, oh, my God, what can we do? Me, I'm like, we about to solve this. I am not about to have this happen, right? I mean, that's how that was. I mean, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that 365 days a year, every single time we encounter somebody. But I don't have a solution for that every single time. But that one was like, oh hell no, we got a solution for this. It's called networking. It's called love. It's called let's give it back to where it can actually be best served. Because here, it just won't work. It's just another pile on. And if we had to, we'll deal with it. But this one, we can figure this one out.
That's a realistic perspective on homelessness in Atlanta because we've had Bame Joyner on here, and we also had Drez the Beatnik on here, and they were both talking about homelessness and that it's so many people coming here to search for that American dream at the magic black city that they fall victim to being homeless because they came here without a plan.
Right.
Drez admitted on the podcast that he was one of those people, and it's a whole different ball game that a lot of people just don't realize. Like, that's what a lot of the homelessness is experiencing too.
Absolutely. There's homelessness that is occurring within the city, and then homelessness that is occurring that has grown by visitors. People coming here saying, oh, man, I saw it on the Housewives. Everybody's doing good.
It's lit.
It's lit. There's an opportunity.
In Duluth.
Yeah. You know, and unfortunately, we are a tale of two cities. We have a lot of prosperity and opportunities in Atlanta, but we have a lot of generational poverty and people that are struggling, and they have been struggling. Grandma's been struggling. Mama's been struggling. They're struggling. Their kids could struggle if we don't stop this cycle. And so when we have somebody that's falling on hard times in Paulding County or Hall County, and there's no shelters in Hall County or Paulding County or Rockdale County, what happens when you just flat out of luck in Coweta County or Bartow County?
Right.
What happens with you? You find a ticket to Atlanta. We have shelters.
Or the airport.
Or the airport.
There's a good place too.
We have places of refuge. We have centers of hope. We have places that say, we'll see about you. But those places are overrun, overworked, and so going back to my plan is to address this as a regional issue. Atlanta is 10% of the land mass of the metro region. That's rare for a city to be this small.
Yeah.
We are the heartbeat with a whole lot of, we're the heartbeat with a whole lot of veins and capillaries going to a lot of places. So we pumping hard, and with 10% of the land mass and 10% of the population, it's 500,000 Atlantans and 6 million people right now about to say, go Trey Young. Let's get this W, right?
Hey,
right?
Yes,
it's a whole lot of folks that's claiming the A. But only a few of us pay these A taxes.
Yep.
Only a few.
Shout out
of
to
us.
Lawrenceville. Appreciate you.
Right.
Matter of fact, you can go back.
I used to play them.
Hey, man, I got kids.
I'm a clean guy. I used to play them.
Man, Lawrenceville was some bread.
Yeah, we do.
Snellville, Lawrenceville.
There, man.
I need to just put a little toll booth outside.
No,
of
but
it.
it's 10% of the mass, but it's 90% of the opportunity, though.
That's right.
So it's like everybody wants to come.
Everybody
But
want
if
to
you
come.
broke where you at, you probably gonna be broke here.
Facts.
That's just truth.
Facts.
You gonna be
If
mo
you
broke.
broke where you at,
You gonna be mo
Man.
Atlanta?
where it's $200 a month for your apartment,
Right.
you gonna be broke here.
But what we get is a lot of transplants from New York, Philly,
Oh,
Chicago, and
that's-
LA.
I
Because they like, y'all complaining about $1,500 a month rent, try $2,500. We're like, we're not going to try that. We don't want to go your way.
Yeah.
Stop giving me a false alternative. That's not what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
I'm gotta make sure we don't end up like that. we do not want that.
So, just moving forward a little bit, because I know we are running. Yeah, the time's okay. You got a little bit more. Got a few more minutes.
Few.
So, how
How
do you feel?
Come on now.
How do you feel about Kasim getting back in the thick of it?
Yeah, I think it's a terrible idea.
Oh,
I think it's a terrible idea. I don't think that Atlanta needs to ever go backwards.
Fair.
We're moving forward into a future that is inclusive and a future that has everybody in mind. Equity and opportunity is all I'm going to preach. And equity, opportunity on a bedrock of integrity. People have to trust the leadership in order to afford the leadership a chance to deliver the dream. You can't force a dream onto folks if they don't trust you. And I am fully aware of how embarrassing it was and how difficult it was to run government with a federal investigation in City Hall every day. FBI taking computers, walking around.
people did time, right?
Half of the cabinet of the Reid administration is in jail, was in jail, or
Black Trump.
under federal investigation.
Some would say that's the American way, though.
I don't ever want to talk to the FBI.
Right.
For no reason.
Right.
FBI's looking for you.
No, man, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. And then the city, how do you attract talent when the last time you was at the helm, half the people that you attracted went to jail?
Good point.
Why would I want to go work for you if the last time you were the employer, half the people went to jail? So either you created the conditions or allowed the conditions for that to occur, or you the worst judge of character that the city has ever had.
Right.
Yeah. Facts.
That's too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We cannot go backwards.
Right.
And then the other fact of the matter is, since we here, stay here.
Okay.
What do you believe about the talent pool of the city that they got to go back to that? We don't have any other talent that can lead this city? You believe that we are that bad off, that we haven't, out of all these educational institutions, out of all these, nonprofits that have developed top talent, out of all these people that have labored and loved on this city, that no one is capable of running it? That now somebody got to come back that has that checkered past? You just don't believe that there's enough talent to go around that this place can run without the previous administration's bad
goes back
past?
to your point that everybody needs to put their name on the ballot.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to
point.
serve.
Fair point.
So, no, I think it's a terrible idea. As someone who loves Atlanta, I will protect Atlanta from a bad decision.
Oh, that's what's up.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody
Absolutely.
protect me from my bad decision.
Nobody can do that one.
You speaking to my soul right now.
Your guardian angel is fed up.
Yeah, you fed up. Now, do y'all have any other questions before we go to the ATL salute?
Now let's go to ATL salute.
Okay.
This might be part one, so we're gonna come back after he wins.
For any of our listeners that want to know more about your campaign, follow you, anything like that, how can they get in touch with you? How can you find out their name?
Yeah. So please go to AndreForAtlanta.com, Andre, F-O-R, Atlanta.com. And then on all social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter is Andre for Atlanta. You can follow me and I follow back. You can hit me up and
I thought
volunteer.
We were special.
Yeah.
We made it! Wow!
Stepping stones. Don't forget us though.
No, I'm not gonna forget y'all, man.
Don't forget us when you win.
Yeah, that's right. When I win, I'm coming back. I'll be down here.
Crack some more bottles.
That's right. That's right.
All of
Right. So yeah, man, y'all can send me emails and call, and then click the volunteer button. Let me say this. I campaigns run on money. If you got money, contribute now. If you got energy and interest in learning about your city, there's no better way than to ride around with a candidate for mayor. You will meet seniors, you will meet youth, you will pass out flyers and talk to people. You will knock on doors of people and see the conditions of this city, high and low, and you will be able to say, wow, that summer of 2021, I had an experience. I was riding around with the future mayor of Atlanta and his campaign. So please sign up for that. We do community cleanups. We helping out the seniors. We're doing all kinds of stuff. So please come join me on this journey. I promise you that granola bars and bottled waters are plenteous. and
Quaker
good
Oats or
vibes.
Kirkland? Which one are we doing?
We're doing the Quaker Oats. We're doing the Quaker Oats.
Oh, name brand.
Yeah.
But don't sleep on Costco though now.
Yeah.
Kirkland brand goes in.
Yeah.
Oh no, they do. I just got that's kind of far outside of where I go every day. I can hit the grocery store.
A Costco in the city.
Yeah, we need a Costco in the city. And a Trader Joe's and everything else on
Absolutely.
the south side. We need a good hospital.
That's a good one.
Yeah. In the south side of the city. Yeah. So yeah, please follow me. Man, I'll always come back to you guys if y'all will have me. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Y'all
Thank
good
you so
brothers.
much.
Y'all good brothers, man.
Thank you.
And your beer is delicious.
Awesome.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Pontoon.
Shout out to Pontoon.
Yeah.
Now we are reaching the end of our episode. At the end of every episode, we like to give an ATL salute to somebody in the city that's doing something great, doing something awesome. And when we have a guest on the podcast, we hand that responsibility over to them. So is there anybody you would like to give an ATL salute to? You can hand out one. You can hand out multiple. It's your world. We just live in it.
All right, man. I'm going to shout out 3 cats in particular. This is 3. CJ Stewart of Lead Ambassadors. This brother grew up in Hollywood, of course, and went on to the Major League Baseball, played for the Cubs, came back to start a program called Lead Ambassadors, teaching young men discipline through baseball. And then my other one is I Am a Father First, Brother Keith. These guys over there are really helping kids get through, navigate some dangers, and some helping them see the positive light of what even if they don't have their father in their life, these guys play the role of mentor and leader. And then third, I'm gonna go with Gary Davis of Next Level Boys Academy. These guys deal with young men that have been imprisoned or accused of a crime, and they are serving out their sentence by learning about how not to go down that path again, preventing recidivism, giving them hope and light. And so I'm shouting those people out because right now, a lot of the solutions for our crime wave is police, police, police. And I believe that some of it is police, more presence and some more activity. But a lot of it is also preventing a crime before it even happens. Loving on young black boys, loving on young black girls, loving on young anybody, to be able to support the community, give them hope, give them agency, ownership in this city is what I think those 3 guys do. And I'm a mentor with all of their programs. Shout out to anybody that's going to be on the Hawks bandwagon for the next.
Let's go!
Nobody believes it. What's your prediction on the series?
Yeah, so I'm a Hawks in 6 for the Bucks. Over the Bucks. Hawks in 6 over the Bucks. So, and then we're going to be in the NBA Finals. And I don't know who's going to be on the other side of that,
It'll be the Suns, I think.
The Suns got that energy right now.
Especially if CP3 comes back.
I think if he comes back, if not,
it's going to be iffy.
It'll still be the Suns. It'll still be the Suns.
I don't know.
Because I don't think Kawhi coming back.
No, but Paul George they actually been better without Kawhi.
Why is this NBA series so fantastic?
Because
The
LeBron is
people who are
out.
watching it know how good it is. The people who aren't are like, I don't know nobody. But if you watch the games, oh my goodness.
This is like March Madness for grown folks.
It's crazy.
It's every night.
Because nobody expects a 5th seed to come through and go win it all.
Yeah. And all the series are going to like 6-7 games.
And they're great games.
And they're great games.
Awesome,
Yeah.
Man, that dunk Collins did where he had...
Oh, he's so petty. You saw the shirt.
he got a shirt.
Oh, man.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
was like, that's
Petty
so-
LaBelle.
Oh, man. I went online. I was like, is he selling that?
And yes, shout out to those guys that are mentoring young black men. And shout out to Collins for being petty.
Yeah.
Petty LaBelle.
Petty LaBelle.
Petty.
Heck yeah.
That was hard.
Embiid is just like, man, I want to beat this dude up.
He wanted to so bad, but he couldn't.
You already know.
Right.
Hobbling around
Go Hawks.
at the house.
Awesome. Awesome.
Man, Ice Tray.
Well, thank you again so much for being on the podcast. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your
And when are we voting? What day?
Yeah, we're voting November 2nd.
November 2nd, people.
Yeah, put
Y'all
your
be
voting,
there.
Put your voting shoes on.
Put it in the calendar right now.
Yep, and take somebody with you. Take your cousin if they're voting for Andre. If they're not voting for me, you can.
car, man.
Leave him. Leave him somewhere.
All right, peace.
Deuces.